You're going to get sued if you're not careful. Seems like everybody's trying to get into the world of text message marketing. Heck, even Better Agency talks about its ability to send and receive text messages. But did you know that if you're not careful with this, and if you're not doing things the right way, you're opening yourself up for a massive lawsuit. Here in this video, we're gonna talk about TCPA compliance and what you and your agency need to start doing immediately if you wanna be compliant and avoid being caught in the crosshairs of some attorney and their class action lawsuits. Now, before we get into the video, I wanna make you aware of a free gift that we're giving away to all independent agents. It's our 5 strategies to better retention. If you're looking for more ways to increase your retention rate, get more of your clients to renew on an annual basis, then we put together this free guide for you. It's gonna outline our 5 strategies that we've learned by doing this with customers, and then also working with hundreds and thousands of independent agents just like yourself to help them get their retention rates up. Down in the description is a link for you to click on, enter in your information. We'll send that guide right to your inbox. SMS marketing or text message marketing is becoming increasingly more difficult by the day. Wireless carriers like Verizon, AT&T, and the others, they've learned their lesson with email deliverability, and they're putting in more roadblocks that make sending text messages and getting them delivered more and more challenging. Here's the thing, wireless carriers don't give a fuck about your text deliverability. Their spam filters are getting more restrictive and they're getting more intelligent. So if you're not taking the right steps and you're not following the right protocols and procedures when it comes to TCPA compliance, then not only are you making it almost impossible for your text messages to get delivered, but as we discussed later on in this video, you're opening yourself up to a massive class action lawsuit. So this video is gonna help you stay compliant and make sure that you're following all the right steps. Here are the red flags that are gonna make it almost impossible for you to get your text messages delivered. Spam filters are gonna look for the same or similar messages that are sent to large groups of people. If you're doing a massive text campaign where you're sending out the same verbiage to a large group of people, that's gonna get flagged as spam, and that's really gonna hurt your future deliverability. So when you're doing your text messages, really try to differentiate what you're sending people so that it doesn't get flagged for looking the same or looking too similar. No opt-out instructions. If you're sending out text messages to a large group of people and you're not giving them ways to opt out or to unsubscribe, then you run the high risk of being flagged as spam. Another common way to get flagged as spam by a wireless carrier is to send out text messages with a bunch of sketchy looking URLs or links to websites. If you wanna send a website in a text message and you want people to go somewhere, then just make it look like a normal URL. www.websitename.com.net, whatever. Don't make it look like some short link, or don't make it look like it was written in hieroglyphics or that the pharaohs of ancient Egypt put it in there. You know what a sketchy looking URL is. Don't put that stuff in your text messages, because if you do, then you're just begging for them to flag you as spam. Now, we've mentioned TCPA quite a bit in this video, which stands for the Telephone Consumer Protection Act. These were laws that were put into place to protect consumers just like you and me. We've all been there, sitting on the couch on a Friday night with our family. We get blasted with text messages from somebody that wants to sell us something. We've never done business with them. We've never opted into anything. They got our number from a list or they scraped it. These vendors or these companies are in direct violation of TCPA laws. What that means is they could be sued up to $500 per unwanted text message. So just think about you and your agency. You're sending out hundreds or thousands of text messages to prospects or to people from cold lists, people who haven't opted in to receive anything from you. You really run the high risk of being sued. Your software provider is running the risk of being named in a class action lawsuit. So if you want to avoid staying out of hot water with lawyers and attorneys and staying out of Judge Judy's courtroom, then here's what you need to do to make sure you're in full compliance with TCPA laws. The number one thing that you need to do, perhaps the easiest thing that you need to do to make sure you're TCPA compliant and that you avoid Judge Judy's courtroom, is you need to make sure you get direct written consent from your prospects and clients that it's okay to text them. You can do this with a form on your website, so if they're filling out forms to get quotes, they need to check a box that says, yes, it's okay to send me text messages. You need to have disclaimers. If you're sending it to customers, you could send them a text or an email that says, hey, I wanna make sure that you have my new number for texting. Is it okay that I can text you when I get important updates or I need to deliver news? Is text messaging you okay? And if they reply yes, you need to store it, you need to document it, you need to have written consent. Digital is okay. If they do it in blood, that's even better, but you need to be able to stand in a court of law and say, yes, they told me I can send them text messages. Here's the proof. The next thing you need to do is you need to have a working opt-out mechanism in your text messages. Just like we mentioned before, you have to get consent to send text messages. People have to opt in. You have to give people a way to opt out, either by replying stop or by clicking a link and removing their number from future automation. You're gonna wanna do this because people are gonna mark your number as spam. They're gonna block it so they don't get any more, and that's gonna send a signal to wireless carriers. So give people a way to unsubscribe or to easily stop the automation. Another way to be compliant with TCPA rules and regulations is to only send text messages during regular working hours. If you think it's a great idea to send text messages to people at 2 o'clock in the morning, at 11 o'clock at night, on a Saturday, on a Sunday, you're gonna get flagged. So send text messages during regular working hours, 9 to 5, 8 to 6. Use some common sense here. Don't spam people late in the night or early in the morning or on the weekends or on holidays. Make sure it's happening during regular working hours. The fourth thing that every insurance agency needs to do is to make sure their agency has adequate cyber liability coverage. You want to take a look and make sure that your cyber policy has TCPA coverage in the event that you're named in a lawsuit. You either want to make sure it's on your cyber policy, or you want to take a look and see if there's any standalone options that's going to protect your agency in the event that you are held liable and need to pay damages. Now, of course, there are gonna be people who are watching this video and they're gonna say, Nick, I send 100,000 text messages a month. I'm not worried about any of this. Listen, the wild, wild west, good old days of SMS marketing, those days are starting to come to an end. That window is really narrowing. If you don't take the proper precautions and take the right steps to remain compliant, you're gonna find yourself getting in deep trouble. If you're a software provider and you're not doing things now from a TCPA compliance standpoint, here at Better Agency, we're already thinking about all these rules and regulations and what it can mean for insurance agents going forward. We're already implementing new systems and new processes within our software to make sure that we're compliant as a software provider and that you're compliant with TCPA rules and regulations as an insurance agent. So you don't have to worry about any of this stuff because we're already building these processes, these do's and don'ts and best practices within the software so that you can just go about your normal day and operate like you normally would as an insurance agent. We hope you like this video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit like on this video, and we'll see you on the next video.